My name is Joshua Washington, and I'm excited and humbled that United Way has asked me to partner with them today. United Way does some incredible work, from financial literacy to health to education. There's a lot of suffering and hardship in this world, and United Way helps to alleviate some of that suffering by the incredible work that they do. Please check them out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
They taught us to be better, the bold ones, to create a bolder world, a bolder community, a bolder generation. They are often the loudest, the craziest, the trailblazers, the groundbreakers, and earthshakers, the round pegs in square holes, whose passion and vision helped change our world. The boldest ones teach, they preach, to be better, grounded, to practice, to fail, as that is where the greatest lessons live. Bold means being at the table as truth tellers, as storytellers, being rebels with a cause, and working for a cause. Being bold is not a sideline job. You are in the thick of it against tremendous odds, with no thanks, no reward. You are reimagining the possibilities because impossibility is not an option. And in the thick of a pandemic, when the world around us is struggling, you are bold healers, even when your own life is on that thin line, when your simple ask to wear a mask falls on deaf ears. You boldly become louder and your stride becomes stronger until all hear your message. Defeat does not define you. Being bold means when you see indifference, when you see violence or inequality, you call it out. Say it. Black lives do matter. George Floyd mattered, Breonna Taylor mattered, and you become your boldest in those moments of obvious injustice, and you don't just see, but you act, and you do so boldly and without hesitation, because it is not in your nature to look away. Boldness is not blindness, because you know it is time. Bold is believing in humanity, in kindness, in living united. MLK, JFK, RBG, Eleanor, Harriet, Gloria, our mothers, Teresa. Ali, Kobe, Billie Jean, Jackie, they, like us, in our own unique way, do, build, give, lead, inspire, innovate, and change the world for the better, because they believe in the power of one.
You guys, this is good. I'm so excited. This is Adrienne Bankert coming to you from New York City. Right now, I'm here with you virtually, coast to coast. So I hail from Northern California, but Stockton's always been cool to me. Stockton was like that favorite cousin whose mom had all the good food. I always feel home in Stockton. Ever since the Asparagus Festival, when I worked at KCRA, I would go down, we'd have an all-day event. I'd meet so many amazing people from different walks of life. And that's a little bit of what we're gonna do today too. So it works out really well. You're gonna hear from organizations, leaders, and partners who work in the area of education, COVID-19 response, homelessness, and diversity and inclusion. And we're gonna talk about shining that bright light on the people who continue to give back and to give big and to keep us all in a state of progress, in a state of moving forward, even in the midst of a pivot. I want to just let you know there are a couple of things I want to just shout out. It's going to be a time of music and celebration. You're going to hear from Brandon Leak, Stockton's own. He's not going to perform once, but he's going to actually perform twice. We're going to hear from him twice. And that's pretty exciting. Of course, he's the winner of season 15 of America's Got Talent. Pretty cool. Also, you want to remember to give. It's really easy to do. I know you're already big givers, but just look at the bottom of your screen there. There's a code. You can text in the word virtual to 40403, and that will allow you to set up an account so that you can make a contribution and a donation. And remember, everything helps. We do this collectively. We do this together. And I also want to let you know, they've been kind enough, they just let me know that they'll put my book up on the event page. I think it's already up there. My book, Your Hidden Superpower, came out in June, and it's all about how kindness makes you unbeatable. And I recommend it not just to those of you who are in business, but those of you who maybe have a student who's entering the workforce, maybe even someone as young as high school age, because this is a really easy book to grasp, and it shows the power of kindness at work and pretty much as a lifestyle. So I'm really thrilled about that. It's all about connection. It's all about being real. And we need that more than ever. We need that authenticity, that word we hear so many times. It's more than a buzzword. We need to be able to walk in the shoes that were meant for us, made for us, run our race, and be able to do what people said was impossible. And the way we do that is together. The power of one is all about each one of us contributing to a greater work to impact the community for positive change. With that, I want to introduce your MCs for the event, two people who've made a lot of positive change happen. First, Amy Farrell from the United Way of San Joaquin County. She's the Director of Community Impact. And Doug Wilhoit, the CEO of the Greater Stockton Chamber of Commerce. Welcome them and enjoy the event.
Thank you, Adrienne, for that wonderful welcome. You will always have a special place in our community and our United Way. Alongside my fabulous co-host, Doug Wilhoit, we are honored to share the next hour with you, telling the stories of the impact United Way of San Joaquin County has made throughout the year with our wonderful partners and key leaders from across the county. We want to thank our gold and silver sponsors who continue to support the work being done and choose to live united by giving back to those in need. Joaquin Lens, New Star Energy, the Port of Stockton, Dignity Health, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Kaiser Permanente, John and Francesca Vera, Ligorio Family of Companies, and Verve. Throughout the next hour, you at home, on the couch, like Doug and I, wherever you may be, have the chance to give back as well. $1, $5, $100, whatever it is, every dollar matters. And when you make your donation today, your name will appear on screen throughout the program. And don't forget to check out our bold items on our event page where you can purchase our signature Power of One tote bag. If you click the link in the chat, you can check out all of the other items we have. I heard there's an Italian dinner catered for 6 at the home of President and CEO Kristen Birtwistle. Private yoga lesson, cocktail lesson, mentorship opportunities, even a meet and greet with Brandon Leak, and so much more. All money raised today will go right back into this community. Doug, I'll turn it over to you.
Amy, thank you. It's a real pleasure to be with you today. And I want to thank you for all you've done since you come to United Way. You are a real star, and we appreciate it. Welcome to everybody here. And with Amy, I thank you all for being here. And thank all the sponsors who helped make this possible, and all the folks that will join us today, make presentations to you. I'm also very excited and honored to be looking forward to seeing Brandon Leak and his presentation today. And Brandon, congratulations on your victory. and what you've done for the community in the past, are doing now, and I know you'll do in the future, bring our community together in all parts of this community. And now it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce the CEO and President of United Way of San Joaquin, a young lady who I've known for many, many years. She filled some big shoes after Andy Prokop retired. Andy, we God bless you and Carol, and hope you're doing well. And now, for the President and CEO of the United Way of San Joaquin County, Kristen Birtwistle.
Hello, and thank you for being here today. And more importantly, I'd like to thank Kelly and Regis, Amy and Doug, and welcome to the Power of One, live from the Huddle by Launchpad, a great downtown business incubator. So this is a bold journey we are on today, and we thank you for joining us for lunch in the company of community influencers, storytellers, and groundbreakers who are really making their mark across San Joaquin County. We welcome you to our virtual theater, which we hope will leave you inspired and motivated to join our cause, which is connecting with the caring power of our communities. So last year, when we hosted our sold-out event, Power of One, Bold Moves, at the Jansen Ligorio Gym Pacific, we packed in over 400 well-wishers, supporters, nonprofit champions to herald in and launch our new strategic plan. We introduced new staff, and we pivoted into a new direction. And that direction included doing a bolder job in working with our nonprofits, with new social impact areas like education and homelessness. So we thank the City of Stockton and our new city manager, Harry Black, who just confirmed today that he is one of our major sponsors. We are so thankful. So even with the best planning, one could not have planned for a worldwide pandemic and the significant social unrest that our country felt this past year. On both fronts, United Way's plutonium has always been to serve as a first responder. Our actions in partnership with so many others have helped shape our communities in their response to COVID-19 with essential support, masking, testing, and outreach to our most vulnerable populations. And while a pandemic was surging, institutional racism and injustice was peaking in streets across our country. And in response, United Way is shifting its own internal systems to address diversity, equity, and inclusion, from our board composition to our mission to expanding our work with communities of color. In fact, today we are announcing our new initiative called appropriately, It Is Time, because it is time. Time to do the right thing, to work together on the path to peace and societal justice. As John Lewis said, we want to make some good trouble. And Stockton's own Brandon Leake will send his spoken word magic across the airwaves and our screens today messaging about it is time. And then also later in the program, you'll also hear more about our commitment to women as we launched Women United as an extension of the Eleanor Project. We are merging both programs together as a new way to raise awareness about the power of women in philanthropy and to build bridges between young and established women to mentor and to be mentored, and to educate and inspire the next generation of women leaders. So today, for one brief hour, we want to show you how the great people of these communities that we serve, Stockton, Tracy, Lode, Manteca, Escalon, Ripon, and Lathrop, we want to share their stories with you, which we hope will compel you and make you better understand our world in all its beauty and see the power of one. And now it is my privilege to introduce the makers that have navigated us through COVID-19 with both their expertise and commitment to the thousands whose lives have been interrupted by this pandemic. I'd like to introduce El Concilio's own Jose Rodriguez, whose team provided economic relief to hundreds of families during the pandemic.
Hi, my name is Jose Rodriguez, and I'm President and CEO of El Concilio. And it's my honor and pleasure to be able to speak to you today about United Way and the work that we're doing collaboratively regarding COVID-19. As many of you know, the pandemic started back in March, almost 8 months ago. And when the pandemic first started, we had a lot of concern because we knew that there were a lot of families that were being affected by the shut-in orders where people were not allowed to work or able to work. And so that we knew that families were going to suffer some economic hardship. And we were grateful for United Way partnering with us and helping provide some of these families some economic relief. what United Way did is they gave us a substantial donation where we were able to provide almost 500 families, each a grant of $500, so that they were able to use that for necessities such as food, utility bills, or whatever it is that they needed. And I can't tell you the relief that so many families felt knowing that they were receiving this money. And I'll never forget going to one home in particular where when we approached the house, these children were outside playing, and I thought they were just playing store. But really what they were doing is they were having a yard sale, selling some of their toys, trying to raise some money to help their parents. And I'll never forget the smile that came over their face when we told them that we had some money for them and that they didn't have to sell their toys. That's the type of blessings that United Way helped us provide to over 500 families here in San Joaquin County. And I know that so many families really appreciated it because to them it made a difference between going hungry and being able to buy food, being able to pay their utilities, and take care of their families. So we're forever grateful to United Way, and I know that these families are forever grateful to United Way for the help that they received when this pandemic first started. El Concilio partnered with United Way to conduct a series of health fairs, specifically targeting the migrant community, agricultural community, because we knew that they were disproportionately affected by the pandemic. Unfortunately, many of these families don't have access to health care, don't have health insurance, so they weren't sure where to go. And so United Way approached El Concilio, partnered with other organizations such as Adventist Health, and put together a series of health fairs where we were able to provide free testing to these individuals in Lodi and in Stockton. And as a result, over 1,000 people were able to get free testing during the pandemic, knowing if we wouldn't have provided this service, many of them who didn't have health care coverage or access to health care would have never been able to get this test and those results. So we're really grateful to United Way and all the partners in the community who worked with us on specifically targeting the migrant farm workers who were considered essential workers, and many of them never stopped working during the pandemic. They were out there making sure that we had food on our tables while we were safely at home trying to stay safe. They were out there working, putting their lives on the line, putting themselves at risk. And so we were glad to be able to partner with United Way and several others in the community to make sure that these individuals got tested and that they had access to health care. El Concilio is just really grateful to the community at large for the generosity that's been directed our way. As a result of the pandemic, we've been able to help many families financially. We're working with the city of Stockton to be able to provide some rent and mortgage assistance, helping families who are behind on their rent or on their mortgage to make sure that they don't get evicted and face the issue of homelessness. We've received donations so that we're able to provide folks financial assistance, anywhere from $500 to $2,000 per family, based on their economic need and their circumstances. We've been very grateful to so many organizations from outside of this community who have stepped up when they've seen the generosity that's been brought in within our community to help so many different families. We know that this pandemic is going to be around for a while, and so we're looking forward not only to sharing these resources with everyone, but also continue to be an advocate to make sure that this information, the right information, gets out to the community at large, and that they have access to the testing and the medical services that they may need. And then when the vaccine comes about, we're going to be doing everything that we can to encourage our community to make sure that they take advantage of that so that they're one of the first in lines to be able to take advantage of the vaccine. I just want to encourage everyone who sees me, hears me, sees this video, that they would consider making a donation to United Way. All of us know what it's like to be in need, I'd like to believe many of us know what it's like to be in need, and we know what it's like to be able to receive a helping hand. And that's exactly what United Way does with these funds that they receive. They help so many families in the community, regardless of their economic status, heritage, culture, language that they speak at home. United Way is just been there as a safety net for so many of us, so many families in this community willing to help folks. And so I hope that anyone who listens would be willing to make a donation to United Way, whether it's $5 or $500. Every dollar counts. And I can tell you, as someone who's been out there working with some of these families, they're just grateful to receive this donation, and it really means a lot to them, whether it's $5 or $500. We know that every dollar counts. And so I would hope that during the holiday season, as we're getting ready to get into the holidays, that everyone would consider looking into their hearts, looking into their wallets, and making just a small donation or a donation to United Way so that they can continue their good work on behalf of all the families here in San Joaquin County.
Thank you, Jose. And now, Dr. Maggie Park, San Joaquin County's Public Health Officer. She has been our boldest leader yet in speaking truth and how we must manage our response to COVID-19. We are so appreciative of her leadership. Take it away, Dr. Park.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Maggie Park, Health Officer for San Joaquin County. In a partnership with United Way and Dignity Health, Public Health Services launched the San Joaquin County Mask On campaign. I would like to thank our partners from United Way for creating this concept and helping us to make this a reality. This initiative has allowed us to distribute over 100,000 face mask kits to some of our most vulnerable communities in San Joaquin County. As the holiday season is here and COVID-19 continues to spread, it is extremely important that we continue to stay home, wash our hands, and stay 6 feet apart from others. I know it's not easy, but now more than ever, we must do our part to help San Joaquin County lower the spread of COVID-19.
And thank you again, Dr. Park, for your words. And now we'd like to introduce Don Wiley, President and CEO, St. Joseph's Medical Center with Dignity Health, who has been our first responder, the healers, and the individuals who have been at the forefront of COVID-19 in caring for so many.
Hi, I'm Don Wiley, President and Chief Executive Officer of St. Joseph's Medical Center. It's my pleasure to be part of the Mask On campaign and the fundraising efforts for the United Way. It's been our pleasure, and we're very grateful to the United Way for the Mask On campaign, along with El Concilio and our Public Health Department, United Way and St. Joseph's Medical Center. We've been able to get the message out to keep people safe in our community as it relates to COVID-19. That means wearing a mask, socially distancing, washing your hands, not touching your face, and really trying to stay out of crowds, especially groupings of 10 or more people. And while we've seen a decline in our cases in the recent past, we are beginning to see an increase again. St. Joseph's Medical Center during COVID has actually taken care of about 40% of the hospitalized patients in our entire county. And we've had over 1,000 unique patients, almost all of whom have been able to go home, more than 750. We're so grateful for the United Way and their leadership of not-for-profits in our community. And without them, this campaign would not have been possible. We hope that this year, even though we're virtually raising money for the United Way, that you'll consider giving to the United Way, and I will personally commit to doing so myself. Thank you very much, and I hope that all of you are staying safe and maintaining the practices that this campaign has taught us all.
Through our Mask On campaign, in partnership with St. Joseph's Medical Center and San Joaquin County Public Health, we were able to distribute well over 100,000 mask kits to the entire community. And we still have some left. Please contact your local chamber to schedule a pickup today. I know Doug at the Stockton Chamber, the mask kits are held at United Way, so please contact our office to pick those up. Whether you need them for your office, family, friends at home, we have kits available. Thank you so much. And Doug, I'll turn it over to you to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Amy. And at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone that I've known for a long, long time also. I guess I'm old. I've known a lot of people. But Tori Verber Salazar, DA, and her entire family have done so much for so many years for this community. And she's doing it right now by going on the streets to help the homeless, Rima Barquette. They help the Gospel Rescue Mission, St. Mary's Dining Hall, Homeless Shelter of San Joaquin County in Stockton, and the Shower with Love to serve those in our community less fortunate on the streets. This time gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce our DA, Tori Verber Salazar.
Hi, I'm Tori Verber Salazar, District Attorney for San Joaquin County, and I want to thank United Way for their partnership in creating the winter shelter. Over the last 18 months, we've worked collaboratively with our community-based and faith-based organizations, as well as our county organizations, to ensure the safety, health, and wellness of the homeless in our community. In the criminal justice system, we're always looking for ways to assist members of our community. We know one of the best tools in fighting crime is a home and a job. And we know many of those who have been incarcerated are going to be re-released into our community without either one of those, and thereby increasing our crime. So we're working in collaboration and partnership with United Way and many others to find a better pathway forward to ensure the safety, health, and wellness of our community by putting to use our tools such as our economy, our jobs, our housing, and education to empower and lift people up who are in most need of assistance. When COVID started, it became clear that we needed to do everything we can to help the community, and particularly those most vulnerable, our homeless, by limiting their exposure to the virus, by educating them and empowering them with tools such as gloves and masks, hand sanitizer, and food in order to ensure their safety and well-being. But what we also learned was that there are a lot of children out there. There are a lot of women who are being sexually assaulted. Thanks to United Way and the generosity of an anonymous donor, we were able to form a partnership, and now we have a homeless outreach team, we call them HOME, that are out there working with Child Abuse Prevention Council, who's been a wonderful partner, to have a navigator assigned to every child out on the street, meaning real-time service. When we see a child, we're able to provide those immediate service, access to education, housing, clothing, food, and shelter. We're able to work with their parents to find a better pathway forward. So thank you, United Way and Child Abuse Prevention Council and Behavioral Health and our faith-based and community-based organizations who have created this powerful tool that we have to bring people home. But most of all, bring our children home, because there should never be anywhere in this county that children are living in a homeless camp. We can and will do better.
Tori, thank you for your leadership in our county, from conducting COVID-19 testing to the street outreach being done in the homeless encampments. Your commitment to ensure every individual you come across has access to housing, clothing, and food does not go unnoticed.
I share on Amy in thanking you, Tori, for all you've done and all the people that join you on the street, helping those on the street to a better life. Let's just hope that our local, state, federal officials who have been helpful to this point continue to go hand in hand with us as we solve this most horrible problem. Thanks again, Tori.
And before we turn it over to Kristen again, I want to thank our supporting sponsors, who are nonprofit organizations in our community. And did you know you can designate your dollars to any 501c3 organization today? What do you think about making a donation, Doug?
If you'll help this old man, I'll do it right now.
All right, you have your phone, I'll get mine. Those of you at home, get off the couch, get your phone, join us, and make a donation today. So I'm inspired by the speakers. Are you, Doug?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start a new text message to the number 40403. You got that?
Got that.
Type the word virtual, add one space, type the amount you want to donate, and add another space, and type your name. And then from there, you just press send, and you'll receive a text message back with the link, and that's where you can fulfill the pledge. Did you get it?
I got it.
All right. Thank you, Doug, and thank you to all those who have already donated today. Let's reach our goal and fill that thermometer.
I think Doug Wilhoit said it best. Brandon Leak is someone who needs no introduction. Season 15, America's Got Talent champion, here from Stockton, California, where he is doing phenomenal work in spreading the gospel, if you will, of spoken word poetry. He is here with us today speaking about the power of one.
The power of one. An old proverb reads, if you want to journey fast, then go alone. If you want to journey far, then go together. But everyone's journey begins with one. One decision. The decision to choose better today than yesterday. One decision to view life from the perspective of a child, not riddled with the afflictions of the past, recollections, or the doubts that come with age, but instead the sage wisdom to know life is a story, and that it moves forward only if you continue to turn the page, because as I said, everyone's journey begins with one. Whether it be one person who looks in the mirror, or one who sees their own reflection in the eyes of another person, one person understanding that it only takes one time to change someone else's destiny, whether it be through one word in which we speak or through one action in which we take. We have one opportunity to change someone's lives, because as I said, everyone's journey begins with one. One moment. One moment where everything erodes back into the dust in which we came, and it is now on us to choose what we will create amidst the ash. To choose to either fade away into the twilight to never be seen again, or instead to chase after the sun, knowing that we as it shall rise again. This is the power of one, the recognition that our human condition is what we must overcome to truly complete our vision. This mission in which we are now so desperately trying to accomplish. Understand that we have not been created to exist in isolation, but instead to commune in community communally. But our autonomy to choose the one is our greatest of gifts. The one who stands in armstead with the right side of history. The one who elects to lift up the voice of the voiceless. The one who chooses to be the change that we so desperately seek and so desperately need. To be the one who chooses to live united instead of divided. This is the power of one.
Wow, Brandon, you are the true definition of bold in our community. Thank you for the wonderful spoken word about the power of one, our community, and what it means to make a difference. You are a true inspiration to many, and congratulations again for being crowned the season 15 winner of America's Got Talent.
Since March, we've distributed well over $1.5 million to our schools, shelters, and many nonprofit agencies. And we would not be able to do this without our donors, specifically from our workplace giving campaigns. Traditionally, our Power of One today kicks off our workplace giving campaigns with hundreds of employers across San Joaquin County. Currently, we have thousands of employees who are making contributions, giving back through payroll deduction, and designating those dollars right back to the impactful work being done by the nonprofit agencies here in San Joaquin County. And we would like to thank those who have already launched their campaigns with us virtually, some giving 100% employee participation, who you will hear from soon. Be bold and start a workplace campaign with us today.
This next introduction has a personal meaning to me, even though all the other nonprofits and those who are presented today are very, very important. When I introduced Lindsay Turner Harden, the Executive Director of Child Abuse Prevention Council, it brings back to mind what my partner and I, Joe Pittman, back in the days of Juvenile, handled the investigation of the tragic death of LaTanya Smith. From hence came the formation of the Child Prevention Council. Lindsay, such a great job with all your staff. We thank you for all you do. And I know LaTanya is looking down now, smiling, saying thank you for all the children you're saving in the past, now, and in the future. It's my pleasure to give you Lindsay Turner Harden.
I give because I feel like in my life I'm very blessed, and I would love the opportunity to be able to give back to my community, and United Way does that. I give because United Way works with other agencies that support and strengthen San Joaquin County. I give because I care. I give because I can. I give because I'm invested in the children and youth of our future.
I give because I want to give back to my community. I give because I think it's important. And I give because I think every child deserves a chance to succeed.
I give to United Way because the money raised helps the families I work directly with, because I want to support the community, and because kids are our future.
Hi everyone. Do you want to know the secret to living a life full of joy? Live generously. I promise you. Just think about it. Anytime you do something nice for somebody, or you give a donation, or you help out the neighbor next door, don't you just feel all happy? I do. And one of the ways that I love living a life full of joy is to be able to give through United Way. Just a little bit comes out of my paycheck twice a month, and that little bit gets combined with somebody else's little bit and somebody else's little bit, and before you know it, there's enough bits to be able to make a difference in someone's life. That makes me super happy. Join me, give to United Way, and live a life of joy.
Thank you, Lindy, and all your employees who are giving to this year's campaign and have in the past and will in the future. Thanks again for all you're doing. And now it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Douglas Eberhardt of the Bank of Stockton, whose commitment to the United Way through Workplace Giving campaign since 1926.
My name is Doug Eberhardt. I am President and CEO of the Bank of Stockton. Bank of Stockton has been supporting the community since its founding in 1867. Giving back to the community is what the bank is all about. When you give back to the communities that we serve, it ultimately helps the bank out also. For as long as I've been with the bank, and even before I was with the bank, we have always helped in the community and at giving to United Way. My uncle, my father actively supported United Way for years and years and years. It is something that the bank has always done. I cannot remember not helping United Way out through the years. Since 1926, United Way campaigns have given back to our communities over $100 million. Well, we encourage all our employees to be actively involved in our communities and to give back, whether it's volunteering or writing a check. As a matter of fact, at least 20% of our employees actively sit on a nonprofit board. A great example, some of the nonprofits that we've supported through the years has been St. Mary's Dining Hall, Gospel Center Rescue Mission, and the Emergency Food Bank. And the list goes on and on. We encourage our employees to give to United Way and assure them that 100% of their donation goes to the not-for-profit that they choose. In fact, we really don't even have to encourage our employees because most of our employees donate to United Way anyway. Most years, we have 100% donation. In addition to our employees' contribution, the Bank of Stockton will give above and beyond what our employees give. We're very proud to have one of the top giving campaigns. It's a natural fit for us. We are known for giving back to our community. In part, it's the Bank of Stockton brand. I encourage everybody to give today to help with the United Way. No amount is too small. Give what you can. Every contribution helps those who are in need. With the pandemic that's going on, the economy the way it is, more people are in need than ever before. Those of us who have the wherewithal to help those who are struggling need to step up and lend a helping hand. As a community bank, it's our job to help. We are proud to give United Way and encourage you, now more than ever, to join us.
It is now my privilege to introduce a cadre of amazing educational leaders here in San Joaquin County. I'd like to start off with the invincible and close to retirement, Jamie Musolimas, who has done some amazing things as the superintendent of San Joaquin County Office of Education.
Hi, I'm Jamie Musolimas, a County Superintendent of Schools, and I oversee the San Joaquin County Office of Education. I'd like to thank Kristen Birtwhistle and United Way for asking me to speak at this year's Power of One, Bolder Together. The SJCOE has supported United Way for over 20 years in an effort to assist children and families throughout our county. United Way's focus this year on education and homelessness perfectly aligns with our mission. We educate children and youth with the greatest challenges in our community: foster youth, homeless youth, adjudicated, incarcerated, and expelled youth. Our Workplace Giving campaign is one of the largest among educational institutions, and we are proud of how our employees have helped raise funds for local nonprofits through United Way. United Way has been an active participant and supporter of our Chronic Absenteeism Summit, an effort to identify why students are not attending school, address those issues, and provide support to our students and their families. We have partnered to focus on referral systems using the Connected Community Network, a digital platform that manages referrals from schools to social services agencies, so we can track and monitor critical support our children and families need. United Way has also donated significant funds to our Discovery Challenge Academy, a partnership between the National Guard and SJCOE, located at the Sharp Army Depot in Lathrop. Discovery Challenge Academy is a 5.5-month residential program for up to 200 16 to 18-year-old students who have dropped out of high school or are at risk of dropping out. United Way's support provides these cadets with scholarships, clothing, and supplies as they transition to college or the workforce. So please consider working with United Way and making a difference in the lives of children throughout our county. Education is the great equalizer and has been and will continue to be a priority for United Way in partnership with SJCOE. Thank you.
And thank you, Jamie, for your words and your leadership in support of our children across San Joaquin County. And speaking of another great leader that we have amongst us, Don Shalvey, President and CEO of San Joaquin A+, who is determined equally to improve the lives of our children and our educational system.
Hi, I'm Don Shalvey. I'm a longtime San Joaquin County resident, and I've just returned after 11 years of toggling between Seattle and San Joaquin County, where I served as the Deputy Director of K-12 Education at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And now I am home and thrilled to be the CEO at San Joaquin A+ and our partnership with United Way. A+ has been a long-standing organization in the county, and it is focused completely on education and the needs of our students and residents. Our primary focus is twofold. The first is to support teachers throughout the county, and the second is to strengthen the collaboration between our workforce and our education system to improve the quality of life for every San Joaquin County resident, which we can completely do by strengthening the way in which we build a qualified workforce for the ever-emerging economy here in San Joaquin County. We are really thrilled to have a fiscal sponsorship with United Way, and we also work very closely with the Business Council of Stockton and the Community Foundation of San Joaquin. We all believe in the importance of social impact centers around the county that focus on improving the quality of life here in our terrific place to live. I also want to share that we are currently focused on a report coming out of the University of Pacific, which talks about some challenges we have to face and succeed on. The biggest challenge is that we are in an economic time where more of our jobs are low-paying jobs, and our likelihood of getting more high-paying jobs is totally predicated on us growing a workforce locally, that includes higher graduation rates and more earned AAs, BAs, and meaningful certifications that match the needs of our employers. So much like all the things we grow here in San Joaquin County, our grapes, our olives, our tomatoes, and our walnuts are really second to none. We envision a second to none education system where every community member in San Joaquin County can thrive. And we don't want to miss that opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, I also hope that you will join me and not miss the opportunity to contribute to United Way's good work around the county.
Thank you again, Don, for your inspiring words and your commitment to children. And now, speaking of commitment to education, it is my privilege to introduce the new guy in town, President Christopher Callahan and Jean Callahan, to the stage, our virtual stage.
Hi, I'm Jean Callahan, and this is my husband, Christopher, the new president of the University of the Pacific. While we have only been here since July, we already feel part of the Stockton and San Joaquin County communities, thanks to the warm welcome from people throughout this very special place that we now call home.
Back in Arizona, Jean and I were supporters of Valley of the Sun United Way and saw up close the power and positive impact United Way can have on a community. That's why we're so excited to be working closely and supporting the United Way of San Joaquin County. One of the great attractions of University of the Pacific to us was our university's remarkable dedication to public service and seeking out solutions for our communities. Our historic partnership with United Way has played a vital role in those efforts.
This long-standing partnership has made a real difference in the lives of people across our community. Programs such as our Employee Giving Campaign, our joint work with the nonprofit CEO Leadership Program, and the close alliance with Pacific Athletics are just a few examples of this treasured partnership. And now, during the coronavirus pandemic, with our students and their families facing financial uncertainty, United Way stepped in with a critical donation to help ensure that students remain focused on their education and are able to continue to pursue their dreams.
Particularly important to University of the Pacific is the values we share with United Way, our mutual commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
We are energized by United Way's focus on supporting education and homelessness in partnership with nonprofits across the county. Although we face unprecedented challenges, we remain incredibly optimistic about our university and our community because of our work together.
We are truly bolder together. Thank you for joining us in supporting United Way of San Joaquin County.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie, and congratulations again on your retirement. Thank you, Dawn, and your commitment to San Joaquin A+, and again to Chris and Jean, welcome to University of the Pacific and our entire community. United Way is recommitted to prioritizing resources and support to our educational institutions throughout our county. Before we hear from our next speakers, I wanted to take a moment to thank our bronze sponsors: Community Medical Centers, San Joaquin County Office of Education, Adventist Health, Lodi Memorial, the Bank of Stockton, El Concilio, Dr. Pamela Ibeck, Pacific Home Care, SAS Relations, and Goodstock Productions for their support of the Power of One this year. Also, a special thank you to all of you who have donated through the thermometer today. There's still time to make a difference. Every dollar matters, and we thank you for being the one that makes a difference. And Doug, I'll turn it over to you. Let's introduce our next speaker.
Amy, thank you very much. And a great deal of pleasure to introduce our next speaker who's done so much for our community these last several years, Anna Intiasari Tubbs.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Intiasari Tubbs and I'm the first partner of Stockton. I am happy and so proud to be a part of United Way's Power of One virtual fundraiser and to share my commitment and passion in advancing the vision of this long-standing organization dedicated to our nonprofit community and to the advancement of women across San Joaquin County. Women represent over 51% of our population and they are a growing force in philanthropy. Their footprints can be seen in all sectors of business, technology, education, healthcare, and public office. I have always considered myself an agent of change. My own work in gender equity and social justice reflects much of the work done on a national level by United Way worldwide. But here locally in San Joaquin County and across the nation, women continue to face barriers. We recognize that generational, long-standing anchors related to gender, pay inequity, socioeconomic challenges, educational barriers, and more must be addressed. And within these gaps, women of color suffer at the most disproportionate rates. In a first ever county-wide conducted report on the status of women, it was shown that women of color were paid less than men. They are more likely to be the head of their households in Stockton than they are elsewhere. And they are more often than not single mothers who are earning less than $25,000 a year. This translates to the poverty that women face in our community. The report helped us begin a series of targeted programs to help women of color through programmatic support, services, counseling, and in many of those instances, United Way was a partner for us in funding, support, and assistance for each of these. And today, as we talk about bold moves and the power of one, we must always ensure that women's rights are at the forefront. United Way believes in the essential and critical function that women play in leading within and for our communities. And I am pleased to share that next year, United Way of San Joaquin County will be launching a new affinity program called Women United. Women United will partner with the Eleanor Project, a program that I helped to pioneer here in Stockton. Women United is a growing force of over 75,000 women across the country dedicated to creating a world of opportunity for women and young girls. We are excited to see this national program now being launched in San Joaquin County. It will inspire and advance the diverse women of our community and empower both young and older women to come together for change. As has been my vision, women collectively can do so much, and we must continue to live united so that our North Star shows us to greater milestones for women, be it lifting them out of poverty or eliminating discrimination. And I wish United Way success as it embarks on this dedicated path to supporting women in San Joaquin County.
Anna, again, thank you very much for that great presentation. All you've done and will continue to do, and wish you and Michael Godspeed. At this time, I'm going to tell a little story before I introduce our next speaker. He may not remember this, but I do. Back when he was a rookie with the 49ers, I was honored to be on the 49er airplane to a game in Atlanta with the Atlanta Falcons. And that was Bubba and I were introduced as he's walking up and down the aisle very nervous during that flight and before his game in Atlanta. He's come a long way, watched him do a terrific job as a player, and now helping the community move forward. Again, with great pleasure, and hello again, since all these years, Bubba Paris.
Hi, I'm Bubba Paris, a former tackle for the San Francisco 49ers, but this October the 1st, I took on a new challenge with Tracy Community Connection Center. I'm their new executive director. I have the responsibility of meeting the challenge that homeless people have here in Tracy, California. And the thing that I'm happy about is one of the things that is unique is how the power of one, that we are able to bring a multitude of different groups together. People like Interfaith Ministry who provide food, different people who provide housing. We connect organizations to resources. The thing that I'm excited about is that, first of all, they brought me in, man of color. And one of the things that I realized being a man of color, that every group of people have their own realities. And the thing that I appreciate most about the United Way is they are aware of the fact that every group of people have things that are sensitive to that group of people, whether you're homeless or whether you're housed. It's a sensitivity to a different group of needs. And the fact that this organization is making it a proactive stance, a proactive purpose to be able to find people from different walks of life, different economic backgrounds, different colors, because when you bring all of these people together, we're able to address the whole need of a community. We have a guy in our parking lot, and he has boxes everywhere. He's not downtown where we have our shelters, but this is a man that used to be a business owner in this city, one of the upstanding members of this community. He fell into a situation where he could not keep his business, and he mentally had a break. And because of that, he has been on the street for a while. So in order to reach him, you had to understand what it's like to be a businessman that have lost all. We have people who have been on narcotics all of their life because they had to try to shield themselves from a terrible event in their life. And because of that, they find themselves addicted to drugs, and now they're homeless. And so you have to have people who have the background to deal with that. This great thing about the power of one is that when you have a concept that you're going to allow everyone to have input into how you address the needs of homelessness, then everyone's need will be addressed. Whether you're that rich person that found themselves in a terrible situation, or you're that drug addictive person that found themselves in a situation where they're homeless and the only way they can cope with being in that reality is by using drugs. With this approach, everyone is reached. And for that reason, I'm proud and energized to be a part of that movement.
Bubba, thank you very much. And now it gives me pleasure to introduce Rhodesia Ransom, who's done a great job in Tracy and will continue to do so in our community.
Hi, I'm Rhodesia Ransom. I'm a nonprofit executive director here at Sow a Seed Community Foundation and a member of the Tracy City Council. We know that equity, inclusion, and recognizing issues such as systemic injustice and racism are very important in solving these issues in our community. We're very hopeful that events like the Power of One will help bring us together so that we can start to address those issues and move our community forward. Like Sow a Seed, together we help our communities through providing social services and resources for very vulnerable populations that have been underserved and really have been faced with the barriers of gender and racial inequity in our community. Our county has been more divided than ever, and it is important that we work together. I'm proud to have co-authored the Equity and Empowerment Initiative in Tracy. And like Tracy, United Way recognizes that it's important that we address these issues, that we come together, and that we move forward so that we can work on making sure that gender equity exists in our community. In addition to that, we want to make sure that we are acknowledging and addressing racial diversity that goes in the composition of boards and commissions in our community. And United Way is taking a step to do that with a more diverse and equitable group as they move forward in our community. We are excited about our future together. We're looking forward to healing our community and moving forward bolder, more peaceful, and providing equity and empowerment for everyone. I'm very excited to be part of this Power of One event, and I can't wait to see what we do together.
And virtual hugs need to go to Anna, to Bubba, Rhodesia, for their wonderful humanitarian work they are doing. And now is my privilege and my honor to introduce for the second time, but our final time for today's program, the amazing Brandon Leak, to share his inspiring words about It Is Time and our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion in the county.
Riddle me this. What is something that once you've spent it, it's gone and you can never get it back? I'll give you 5 seconds. And the answer is time. The one thing that never stands still or rewinds, instead is in perpetual motion moving forward toward who knows. A priceless commodity in which one spends a lifetime hoping for more of. Time. And at a time like this, we have come to a crossroad. The intersection of complacency and destiny. Because comfortability and growth are no longer aligned, divergent paths in which we must decide our odyssey. But it's not odd to see how we arrived here. The San Joaquin Valley's trajectory has long been starbound. But you see, the only route to achieve the dream is if we embark on it together. And embark on this united way, a beacon of light in an otherwise dark space. That's what we call the sun. And we, in alignment with those like-minded, to form a constellation that reads, "It's time." This organization now stands in the forefront of change, from being the staple of the community to aiding in the unraveling of our shortcomings. So that way we can rebuild San Joaquin into a more fulfilling legacy, from community chest to community building, through community organizations, because we are community oriented, and our community is one found in the soil, rained down on by the downpour of societal disposition. What a gift it is to be birthed in the mud, to know that so many will never understand where you're from and the beauty in which it holds, at least until your branches grow and reach out to show the world the fruit in which you bear. And this moment right here, the time for this is now. San Joaquin Valley will be the fertile ground our nation can look at and witness and see just how gorgeous we are. And we shall not journey alone. No, because it's time that we live united.
And thank you to our amazing MCs, Doug Wilhoit, Amy Farrell, for doing such a wonderful job in carrying us through the day. Now I'd like to turn it over to Amy.
This is the first time that our agency has hosted a kickoff like this before, using only a virtual stage, but somehow we made it. And again, thank you to the long list of sponsors that made this possible. We also want to extend a thank you to Brandon Leake, who showed us the power of spoken word. And we wish him well as he is now touring the country, sharing his message with the nation and soon the world.
And now what we'd like to do is actually end our 1 hour program. And this year, frankly, of the World of United Way. And we need to honor, again, the people that have always been by our side. There's one individual to my right, your left, is Douglas Wilhoit. And he has been an iconic, legendary supporter of United Way for decades. He has never wavered in his commitment to make an achievement award that really exemplifies what he has done on behalf of our organization and how he has made us stand out and be better as a result of his leadership. And this community for this Lifetime Achievement Award for being always there for you. And if we're socially distant, thank you.
Chris and Amy, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, when it started with United Fund, United Crusade, United Way back in 1926. And as Douglas Eberhard said, that his father and uncle, Doug and Robert, the founders of United Crusade here in San Joaquin County, here to help everybody else join hands, power of one. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Music to our community. So again, thank you again for all your...
Everybody, I'm Peter Jaffe, the music director and conductor of your Stockton Symphony, and what a pleasure it is to be here for this event today. We do with many organizations in this community, specifically with these partnerships to explore the importance of music education in our art. In this pandemic, when we can't have live rehearsals and performances. Well, I'm glad you asked. Safe audience in an intimate. The Stockton Symphony is very much March of the United States of America. John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever March will be familiar to all of us here, and we're going to play this show home with that tune. Now, this was made as a mosaic, edit them all together. So you're getting an amazing thing here, which is being